Good evening, everyone. This is Angie Stewart from Mia InnerLight here in Kardec Radio. So I just want to welcome all of you. Our study happens every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm super excited to be here with you. And we have been always innovating. Well, I always try to innovate in ways that make the study a little bit more interesting. And from now on, actually, we started last week with our friend Carla Marquez. And tonight we have a special guest that will be also participating with us. And this is our friend Teresa Castro. She will be doing our final prayer. She's also a member of Kardec Radio, so it's a blessing to have her here with us. Hello, Teresa.
Hello, Angie, and hello, all the listeners. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you so much for accepting and being here with us. And as I said, I'm really planning on expanding and I'm planning on soon doing the second part of our study, the gospel according to Spiritism, to have guests joining and helping us to do the study. So be prepared, you will be one of them. So I'm happy to have you here. So let me just talk a little bit. So if you are new to the study, please remember this. Where is the camera? This is the book that we always study, is Among Brothers to Other Lands. This book, we are on the 32nd chapter. So we only have another 10 chapters to go. Soon this book will be finishing. The second part of our study is this book, The Gospel According to Spiritism. And this is the book that usually the 15 minutes in the end of our study, we study this book. But as soon as I get our guests to participate, it will become 20 minutes. So we will have more time to be able to actually talk and ask questions and participate more fervently with all of you, of course. So before I do my prayer, I just want to say hello to Saul. Hello, Saul. Hello, Nora. Very happy to have you guys here. If you are on Facebook, watching this show, please remember I cannot see your names because I'm in a new platform. I am not allowed to see your names unless you write any type of comment. So it's already 9:06. So at this moment, I would like to invite you to connect with us to our initial prayer. In our initial prayer, I want to do it dedicated to the medium Chico Xavier, who is the most famous medium in Brazil, not just because he's super powerful mediumship, but because the super humble person that he was. He was a very loving human being, super ultra charitable. He was very humble, very simple person, but he always had something to give to somebody else that needed more than him. So we miss him so much, but we know he's in the spiritual realm working so hard in our benefit, to trying to help us to be a little bit better today than we were yesterday. So let's just relax. If you can, close your eyes so we can connect with our guardian angels and the spirits who actually protect this simple study. Dear God, our Mother and Father, Jesus, our dear brother, thank you so much for bringing us here again tonight. Thank you so much for all the spirits that protect us, that guard us, inspire us through these studies. We are very happy to be able to continue this study after so many years together. And now we are even happier to do it weekly and with the participation of new friends, old friends, people that will bring even more light to this study. And we also would like to dedicate this prayer to the medium Chico Xavier from Brazil. This person so loving, so special, that on June 30th, 2002, crossed to the other side and is now in the spiritual realm. So it's 18 years ago. So, Master Jesus, thank you so much for giving the opportunity to all of us to be able to be his contemporary, even if we never met him in person. We heard of him and we know how powerful was his work of love, his charitable work, constantly looking to other people that needed more than him and always giving, even if just a loving word. Thank you so much, Master Jesus, for giving us the opportunity of being here tonight and being inspired by such a good, loving being. Thank you, so be it. Very good. Very good, Teresa. So I will see you in a few minutes when we finish the study, and we are looking forward to your loving prayer. See you in a few minutes. Okay, my friends. So just to start, I want to share with you a page. I actually had many pages, but this one is in English and gives you a little bit of a story of actually our dear Chico Xavier. So here you can see, the news Spiritism. Let me just go through it. So it's news Spiritism tells you a little bit about the Chico Xavier life, what he did, his inspirations. Tell a little bit about his childhood. His life was very difficult. He was very humble from a very large family. He was always a medium since a little kid, so people couldn't understand him. It was very hard for him, but he was a man that really brought us so much light, even through his enormous problems, enormous difficulties. Every person that ever met him said his sense of humor was really huge, and his love was like something really, really amazing. So there is lots of information here. I also found this other page. Let me see if I can share this other page with you. Let me see. 1 second. It doesn't want me to share the other page. Let me see if I can do it now. Here. So here is just a simple page that tells us when was his birth, the day he died. There is information about where he's buried, and more information about him, and also some pictures. But I will share all this information in the Facebook of Amia InnerLight. So if you want to know more information, it will be there. So it will help you knowing a little bit more about Chico. The ones that speak Portuguese, there is a movie about his life. And that movie is really beautiful, beautiful. I'm not sure if that movie has English subtitles. If any of you know, please let me know. I also would like to know that. And if it's in a Netflix, I think the last one I saw was on YouTube, but it didn't have English subtitles. Anyway, let me just say hello to the ones who just arrived. Hello, Nora, Matthew, Evandro Nada. Hi, Evandro. Frankly, in Buyo. I hope I said your name correctly. So, my friends, thank you so much for being here. I will read the lesson. Today is lesson 32, Before Other Nations. And this lesson was written by the Spirit Emmanuel. I always like to talk about the spirit who actually wrote the book. But Emmanuel is well known to all of us. So everybody knows Emmanuel. So I don't need to talk much about him. He was the spiritual guide of the medium Chico Xavier that we just mentioned. So I will read the text. This is 2 pages. And if you have any question or any comment, please write it down, and I will be very happy to read and comment. As soon as I finish, I will start commenting the text. Okay? So let's go. Before other nations, Emmanuel. You shall conserve the dignity of home and honor, loving tirelessly the parents that provided you with birth and life. You shall never deny your help to those who ask for support and understanding with domestic well-being. You shall exalt it, serving the soil that embraces you like a generous mother by reciprocating it with care and respect the bread that it provides you. You shall be grateful to the pace in which you live, guaranteeing cleanliness and offering as often as possible the perfume of a flower that depends on your care. You shall, after all, place your heart in the nation that gathers brothers from the same ideals and same language, but shall not forget that the same starry sky that looks at our aspirations embraces other nations' hopes, which have received the blessing of God as much as we have. When you go to work every morning, remember that other human beings do the same as the sun announces the day. When you envelop your children in the evening prayer, think of the mothers who in distant countries watch out for their children, supplicating to all merciful protection and guidance for their loved ones. Do not be judgmental, thinking that the wealth of some and the economic affairs of others are the reasons of a difference. The sufferings that chip away at our soul and the joys that pushes us ahead vibrate in thousands and thousands of hearts of the other hemisphere. When you hear something about other groups and nations which may be making wars, pray for them. There are brothers who do not know the painful consequences that will readjust their spirits later on. When you listen to the news about other groups that may be under atonement, also pray for them, so that the gifts of work and patience do not become scarce for them. Consider everyone as our companions, creatures of the same Creator and children of the same Father. In the future, in the kingdoms of spirit, you will see then in the condition of humanity our true family. Learn then, starting today, to banish the word foreigner from your dictionary. And when you refer to someone who was born in a different nation, allow fraternity to rise up from your soul to your lips and sincerely say, our brother. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So this was written in Paris, France, August 21, 1965. Beautiful text. As everything Emmanuel, the spirit of Emmanuel, writes to us is always beautiful, concise, and very deep. So that's why it's good for us to actually analyze little by little to really understand what he was saying. So I see here Davi. Hello, Davi. Hello, Saul. How are you? So when we go back to the beginning of the text, Emmanuel starts like this. The title is Before Other Nations. So different nations, different countries. And Emmanuel starts, you shall conserve the dignity of home and honor, loving tirelessly the parents that provided you with birth and life. So right there, I know a lot of people already started like, oh, I don't have good parents, for example. There are some people that do not have loving parents. They didn't have loving parents. But as we know in Spiritism, it doesn't matter if your parents were not the perfect ones, they were not like the ones we always would like they to be. But the most important thing is that you actually had parents. You had a father to plant the seed of your life, and you had a mother who actually cared you for 9 months and gave you the gift of life. Because, she could have just decided to make an abortion and you wouldn't be here right now, even in the conditions that you are or that she brought you to life. I know it's difficult because some people's like, oh, but I wish I had a good mother or a father or this or that. But we have always to see the cup half full. You have to be positive. Never look at the cup half empty. It's the same cup with the same amount of liquid inside of it. But when you are positive, you see it half full. And that's how we have to see. So you actually have a mother and father, and you have a physical body right now because of it. So be thankful. Say thank you so much. And if you actually have a mother and father who are good, this is a blessing, and you should really be thankful to it, especially now in the moment of COVID, in this pandemic that we are all far from our loved ones. Us that live far away, we are always far. But I always say that the physical distance is very difficult. It's painful. But when there is love, there is presence. So if you cannot call the person every day, at least call once a week, but put your time in it, put your love in it, talk to your parents, use this wonderful gift of a WhatsApp that you can call with a camera and so many other tools that you can actually use for free with a camera nowadays. 20, 30 years ago was not like that. I already mentioned here how painful and expensive it was. So if you just arrived and you want to make any comment or you want to make any questions, please just write there, and I will be super happy to be able to read and answer or comment with you. So I always have to pay attention to the time. I would love to go one by one making long comments so we could really digest, but the time flies and I really want to go to the gospel too. But the second paragraph, you shall never deny your help to those who ask for your support and understanding with domestic well-being. This is very connected to the first sentence. So the first sentence is talking about the mother and father, and the second sentence is talking about you should never deny help to those who are close to you, who to those that are part of your domestic well-being, giving them support and understanding. So who are the domestic, what is domestic well-being? That's your close life, domestic well-being that usually live very close to you in your house or very close in your family, your mother, father, brothers, sisters. Maybe you live with an aunt, a grandmother, grandkids, who knows? But these ones are the ones who need your help and many times need your patience. I know a lot of people say, oh my God, I live with my grandmother. She drives me crazy because of this and that and that. Listen, listen. You are young right now, but time will pass. And as many people say, oh, time flies. Yes, time flies. Flies really. When you blink, poof, 10 years passed. And one day you will be a grandmother or a grandfather. And then you think, oh, but I don't even have kids. Doesn't matter your age. You will have an age of a grandmother and grandfather. And you don't realize, but when we get older, we usually get used to do certain things in certain ways. Our brain is not as fast as it used to be. The technology goes so super quickly, and you used to be super quickly, and suddenly you are not that super quickly. You have to start asking your son to help you with a bunch of things. So we have to develop also this love to our family members who have certain difficulties, to family members who are impatient. Sometimes they are not as nice as we would like, or the contrary, the little kids. Maybe you will end up living with your brother or sister who has a little baby, and yes, the baby cries and runs everywhere. So we need to develop this patience and also support. You know, we are in America. We are very blessed right now. At this moment, a lot of people are going through financial difficulties, some people more than others. So think about the ones who are going through the difficult time. So maybe you are in a better situation. So this is a time for you to extend your loving hand. Maybe you can give a little bit of a financial help, or even a support, some kind of a support, even just talking to these people. And this is related to your family. So when it's family, it's almost like an obligation. But this should extend to everyone, as we see the text of Emmanuel, that in the end, we see that the other nations that we also say they are foreigners, in the spiritual realm, we are all together. We are all brothers and sisters, living in different continents, speaking different languages, maybe with different usage, but we are all brothers and sisters. So we have to think about it. Then he continues, you shall exalt it, serving the soil that embraces you like a generous mother. So whatever you were born, so if you were born in a country, I was born in Brazil, so I needed to be born in Brazil. I lived in Brazil until I was 27. I'm already telling my age here. No problem. So I lived there until I was 27. So I was used to everything from Brazil. I knew the bureaucracy, I knew the danger, but I knew also the wonderful things. I knew how Brazilians are so loving, are so happy all the time. Even all kinds of crazy things are happening, all kinds of problems, but Brazilians are happy people. But then I moved to the United States, and the reality here is so different. But as I always say, every single place in the world there are beautiful things and not so beautiful things. So it depends on us to really analyze and join and enjoy whatever is beautiful and whatever is good, and learn with the difficulties. So because Brazil, we had so many uh, difficult times with bureaucracy. When I arrived here and everything was so easy and so smooth, I was really appreciative of that. I was like, wow, this is a blessing. But then I also saw things that in Brazil were so easy and so simple and so good. And here there is lots of rules, lots of things. No, you can't do that. You can't do no, you can't, you can't. So I'm like, oof, that's a little bit tougher. But everything, there are good and bad things. So we have to be appreciative of whatever, and we have to love our country. I love my countries. I love the one I was born, and I love United States, the one who embraced me for so many years, giving me a wonderful family, giving me a home, and really solidifying my faith in Spiritism. Because even if Brazil is the country who knows the most about Spiritism, I develop my knowledge of Spiritism here in the US. I already told the story many times. I developed my mediumship few months before moved to United States. So it's almost like the spirits told you, okay, boom, this is your mediumship. It's better you run and learn quickly because you are moving to a place that doesn't have much about it. And that's what I did. As soon as I discovered this mediumship, I was brought to a spiritist center. I was like devouring books. I was buying all the books that I saw. I was like, in that time, just to see how old, I was renting VHS tapes. Yes, tough on VHS tapes. A lot of people don't even know what is that. No CDs, no DVDs, VHS. So I was really um, discovering it quickly. So when I moved to United States, I didn't know any Brazilians. My husband's family, they are all Americans. They lived in a neighborhood that was pretty much Americans, didn't have even Latinos. So I spent like 1 year in internet, and in that time internet didn't have Google. Most of the companies didn't have websites. Imagine spirit centers, they didn't have a website either. But it was a good way for me. I learned a lot in one website that I discovered in that time, and I really boosted my knowledge. So when I finally discovered a spirit center, I already knew a lot because I had studied a lot. But anyway, pick up here, Angela. Although you talk too much and you don't finish the study. Let me see if you guys have any questions. No questions. Explain VHS? No. Google. Okay, so then we continue here. You shall, after all, place your heart in the nation that gathers brothers from the same ideals and the same language. Yeah, so we get very, very happy, especially here in America. So you meet a Brazilian, especially when I just moved here. Later on became like common. But when I just moved to New York and I heard Portuguese on the street, I was just like, oh my God. And like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Brazilian too. A lot of people are like, okay, bye. But I was so excited. I was so excited to meet people from my own country. And it took me some time to calm down and listen to Portuguese and remain calm without jumping on top of the person. But then in this paragraph, he actually mentions, but you shall not forget that the starry sky that looks at our aspirations embrace other nations' hopes, which have receive the blessing of God as much as we have. So all the nations, all the beautiful blue planet receive the same amount of love from God. So when I go, my company is from the UK. So when I go to the UK at work, you hear all the time, "Oh, God bless the Queen." I was like, "God bless the Queen? Why the Queen?" "Oh, because she's the icon." Okay, God bless the Queen, the King, the Prince, but all the normal people too. And here in America, they love to say, "God bless America." That's actually a beautiful song. But okay, God bless America, but God bless Canada, God bless Brazil, God bless Mexico, God bless the planet. So we have these little things that we like to bring something close to our heart. But what Emmanuel likes to tell us is like this beautiful moon, right now, moon that is shining here in Miami, also will be shining in New York, in Brazil, in Canada, in the UK, anywhere. So that's how we have to understand that God does not have a preference. God is really like a good mother and father. So a good mother and father don't have a preference. Oh, this I like more this kid because he is calmer. I ask him to do things he does. The other one is a rebel, drives me insane. Mm-mm. No, God does not have preferences. God is like, I love both of them, even if the other one's a little bit more complicated. I need to love even more because that one needs more love, more understanding, maybe a little bit tougher with him. This is what Emmanuel is telling us. So we continue. Oh my God, 9:35. When we go to work every morning, remember that all the human beings are doing the same. So exactly. So sometimes we are going to work and we think we are the only person driving in a highway. So there is always these people driving like insane maniacs, so they are not gonna arrive late at their work. And when I talk about insane maniac, I already remember you, David, because you are the insane maniac driver. Calm down, calm down. So I'm here looking at you, so you calm down when you drive. But, you know, we have to respect others. We are not the only people going to work. There are so many other people doing the same things. So we have to do our best to don't interfere in a bad way in the life of somebody else. And then he continued the same thing, talking about that when you envelop your children in the evening prayer, think about the other mothers in other countries, in distant countries that are doing the same. And let's pray for them too. We are here, we are still in a good life, but maybe there are mothers in other countries, in Africa, that they are starving and they are embracing their children and they are praying for they have food or water the next day. So this amplifies our minds and our thoughts. And that's how we have always to say that many times we focus so much on our own problems and we forget there are people with problems that are 1,000 times bigger than ours, and they continue their lives in the most positive way possible. So we have to think about it. And he talks about do not be judgmental, thinking that wealth of some and economic affairs of others are the reasons of differences. So we cannot be judgmental with anything. But this is a characteristic of human being too. Be pointing fingers. We love to point fingers. Imagine very basic thing. We are watching a lecture. We are watching a lecture and it's beautiful, and immediately like that person should watch this lecture because this lecture is perfect for that person. Yes, maybe the lecture is really nice, would be great for that person. But if you are the one watching, so pay attention, learn, put in practice. And yes, you can share with that person too. But whenever something is happening, let's think of us first. And one thing that my husband always tells me, whenever something goes wrong, I'm horrible. Oh, because I have this tendency of saying, oh, but this happened because you didn't do that. This is good for you to know that just because I'm here talking doesn't mean that I am perfect or that I am superior, or I have such an amount of knowledge. That's not true. The reason why I'm here is because I love to talk. I love to talk. And yes, I'm older. I have been studying for a long, long time. So I know a little bit, but I still have so many character defaults, so many things that need to improve. And that's why I'm here. I'm here because when I talk, I actually pay attention and I try very hard to apply for me, because we need to be constantly watching ourselves, because many times it's very easy to talk, but when you have to put in practice, you end up not doing a good job. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to be able to do a good job, or at least a better job. That's the thing. And then Emmanuel continues, whenever you hear something about other groups or nations which are making wars, pray for them. So this is important. Pray for them. The power of prayer is so strong. The same thing he talks about the groups that are going under atonement. So maybe a group of people that are having some kind of a difficulty and they are suffering, we have to pray for them. I also already said many times, whenever we are praying for someone, the light that emanates from our hearts, from our hands, it's really big. Whenever I was in the Spiritist Center, and there is a moment that we are going to give the energy healing, or passes, as we say in Portuguese. Whenever you look at the people, you see from their main chakra, the main energy area coming out of their heads, this energy like going up, like white, shiny, is like this beautiful energy leaving our physical bodies and going towards someone, towards something that we are praying for. And many times this energy is also receiving. We are receiving these good vibrations, this good energy, and is penetrating our physical body because of prayer. So prayer is very important. The prayer connects us with the more enlightened beings than us, because we are not that enlightened. No, sorry, honey. No, we are trying to. But we all have a guardian angel that's much more enlightened than us and is always trying to help us, inspire us. So when we pray, we connect, our energy goes up and they bring their energy down, so we make this beautiful connection. So whenever we see someone suffering, someone going to a difficult time, let's pray for them. So this is perfect for now. We are in the middle of a pandemic. So many countries are still struggling nowadays. It seems, I'm in the US, so it seems New York City, that was really, really bad, is doing much, much better. And Miami, who was good, now is really, really bad. So let's pray for this beautiful city. So whenever we are doing this positive thing, we also protect ourselves, because we are surrounding ourselves with positive energy, attracting good spirits that will be helping us, will be protecting us. So this is very important. So what Saul said here, said, before you judge others, judge yourself first. Exactly. So it's so important. So important. We are always judging the others. Always. But this is an imperfect characteristic of a human being. We have to control ourselves so we don't do this any longer. So just to finalize the last two paragraphs, Emmanuel says, consider everyone as our companions, creatures of the same creator and children of the same father, our true family. And it's true. Our true family, everyone in the planet. I know that a lot of people are like, what? Don't even tell me that to my boss. I have to think of him as a brother. Yes, yes. You do have to think of him as your brother because he is. We are all brothers and sisters. And think about us a big family. So I have a very big family from the side of my father. And he has many brothers and sisters. And imagine, each one has like 4 kids. So I have so many cousins. And there are lots of differences. So large families, there are lots of differences. There are those brothers that you love so much and you're very connected, and there are those brothers or sisters that you have a relationship that's a little bit more cold. But this is okay. It's okay. We were put in this very close family because when we are in a physical close family, in a bloodline, we have a tendency of forgiving a little bit more and trying harder to love. Because if we were already in this huge family as our neighbors, co-workers, it's much harder to forgive and to love. So whenever your brother hurts you because of something, you have to work harder because you want. I was born with this kid, since a little kid, we're together. I have a mother, father. So you think about this and you forgive and you work on this forgiveness process. But when it's like your neighbor who broke your garbage can and never said, I'm sorry, I'm just giving a supposition. My neighbors are loving. I have a wonderful relationship with all of them. So you hold that tension and you get angry and you stop talking to the person. The person maybe didn't even realize what she did. So we have to be more loving, more forgiving. We have to learn how to talk to people also. If this supposition I gave really happened, and you go to knock in your neighbor's house, and you say, "Hey, listen, you broke my garbage. You didn't even say I'm sorry. How do you dare doing that?" How do you think the neighbor is gonna answer? If it's a calm, nice neighbor, the probably is gonna say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even realize that." But if it's a neighbor that's already angry, it's gonna say, "How do you dare to knock in my door talking like this?" And then boom, that's the Third World War. So this is very important for us to learn how to talk to people. So whenever we go to talk to someone, especially if it's something difficult, try to put yourself on the other person's shoes. So try to behave your best in order to have a good result. So this is how we start. And as Emmanuel said, one day we are going to understand that we are all a true family. Until then, we are still struggling, but one day we will understand it. And the last paragraph, I'm just going to repeat because it's very beautiful. Learn then, starting today, to banish the word for foreigner from your dictionary. And when you refer to someone who was born in a different nation, allow fraternity to rise up from your soul to your lips and sincerely say, our brother. So beautiful, so beautiful. So we are all brothers and sisters. And I'm so happy to be here speaking English. And in the past, people thought Esperanto was going to be the universal language, but actually, English is still the universal language. And I'm so happy that I was able to learn it. I struggled with it for forever. but then I finally was able to learn, and now I'm able to communicate with all of you. This is a blessing. My friends, let's go to the Gospel according to Spiritism. Today is chapter 8, Scandals. Scandals. So, scandals. If your hand is cause for a scandal, cut it off. Whew. Very tough, very very tough when you hear this and you're like, what is that? So this is like in the past, the old pena de talião. I already forgot how to say this in English, but how was in the time of Moses? This was the law of the time. If someone robbed something, cut the hand, so this person will not rob again. So let's see what Jesus talked about it. So we just need to read the little portion in the beginning here. Woe to the world because of scandals, for it is necessary that scandal come, but woe to the person through whom the scandal comes. So scandals are necessary, but pay attention if you are the one who provoked the scandal. That's not good. If anyone causes a scandal to one of these little ones who believe in me, it would be better for him if one of those milestones were hung around his neck and that he were cast into the depths of sea. Whew, very powerful, very tough. So when we go here, we understand a little bit more. If your hand or foot is a cause for scandal, cut it off and throw it away from you. It is much better for you to enter life, having only one foot or one hand, than to have two and be cast in eternal fire. So this little sentence, what is it talking about? So here, this is Matthew. This is Matthew who writes, saying that Jesus said that. So let's interpret the sentence here. So when you see here, so it is much better for you to enter life having only one hand or one foot. So you can interpret that enter life is like your process of reincarnation. You are coming again to live again. And let's suppose when he's talking here, it's better for you to be without the hand or without the foot when you enter life, so you're not going to be cast on the fire. What is it? The cast into the eternal fire. So what is this eternal fire? We know that in Spiritism, we understand there is no eternal fire because God is a loving mother and father. And this eternal father is something very connected to certain religions that talk about hell forever. If someone was bad, is going to be cast in the hell forever. And in Spiritism, we know it's not true. It's a figure of language. So when Jesus is telling this, we can interpret this as in your past life, you did something really bad. Let's suppose you killed someone. You used your hand to kill a person. So when you re-enter life or when you reincarnate, it's better for you to have a better usage of your hand. So this hand that was used to kill someone now will be used to caress someone, will be used to caress little kids without mothers and fathers. So in Spiritism, we understand that there is the law of action and reaction, yes. But depending on our own actions, depending on our merit, and depending on how we are using our karma, we can say that we are not going to be necessarily be born without a hand. Because imagine when we reincarnating, we are going to have all the program that how we have to improve. We will know everything bad we did in our past life. And we will know all the challenges, all the tests, and also the atonements that we will need to go through. But depending on how we are living that life, how we are behaving in that life, let's suppose that you killed this person in a past life when you were 20 years old. So when you were 20 in your reincarnatory plan, when you were 20, you were supposed to have an accident and lose your hand. But until you reached the age of 20, you were really a charitable person, helping lots of mothers with little kids, helping these mothers to be able to find the homes, to find the jobs, to give a better education. I don't know. You were actually working to improve their life. So you were doing a great, great job. And then the spiritual realm will analyze if you learn the lesson or not. Like a person like that, it's much easier for the spiritual realm to work on saying, let's grant her more 10 years because she's doing a good job. So let's see if it's going to continue. But imagine a person that returned and knew the problem had in the past life. So when you reincarnate, you forget, but it's in your unconscious. But this person could care less, was living la vida loca, was just partying, having fun, never really worked to the benefit of nobody else. So this person for sure will have to go through her atonement. So this was something that Jesus was trying to bring to our understanding of if something is being used in a bad way, it's better to not to have it. So you can actually learn through the lack of it. For example, Chico Xavier already gave many beautiful examples. And he gave examples also that a person in a previous life used the eyes only to do evil things, was a person that had a lot of envy of others. So everything this person looked was bringing envy and anger. And she never looked or something to say how beautiful, how nice, was like, he has that and I don't. Oh, look at the husband of that. Oh, so the eyes were used to very bad things. So in the next life, as a way of improvement, not as a punishment, but as a way of improvement, that the person would be born without this sight. So this person would not be able to see it because in the previous life, this person never really learned how beautiful it was to use the sight for a good thing. So this is for us to make some understanding. And of course, there are thousands of cases. Please, please do not now, whenever you see someone that's blind, don't say, oh, that person used the eyes for evil things, because we don't know. We don't know. And there are people who voluntarily ask to come with certain items because they feel the need of improving faster. And when you have a lack of that, you have to develop other senses in a much stronger way. So they end up improving faster than other people. So this is for us to understand. It's not because of this that happened, because Spiritism is really broad and there are so many different intangibles that we can never say this is because of that, unless you are Chico Xavier and you are actually seeing all the 10 past lives of that spirit. So then you can really say that. But in other ways, no, it's not that we can say that. So let me see something important here. So in this portion here also, this is very nice. According to Jesus' words, they were whitewashed the tomb. So here Jesus is talking about the the turpitudes that the Sadducees and the Pharisees used to do, especially the Pharisees. The Pharisees were the sect of the Israelites in the time of Jesus, that he was always having trouble with them, because the Pharisees were the ones who were always showing themselves perfect, and they had memorized hundreds of rituals to everything, and they were the ones that were always pointing fingers at anything. They were quick to judge and point fingers. So Jesus was telling, 1 minute to our prayer. So Jesus was saying here that they are the whitewashed tombs on the outside, but full of rottenness on the inside. Clean vessels on the outside, but dirty by the inside. So this is how Jesus expressed how they were. They show themselves in white and being as pure and perfect. But through inside, they were very judgmental. They were telling everybody to do the things correct, but if nobody was seeing, they would do in a different way just to benefit themselves. So this is one of the things also, when you show something, but in reality, you are totally different. So whenever Jesus mentioned about scandals, scandals are not just a gigantic thing that calls a lot of attention. Not. Scandals in the time of Jesus was something much broader, in the sense, not just calling super attention, but your personal scandal, your scandal that nobody else is seeing but you and God. So this is also a scandal. So next week we will continue more about scandals. There are many other examples. So if you can, please read the other ones, and then you can help me with the comments. So now let's bring our friend. So now we have Teresa with us. So welcome, Teresa. And if you arrived late, now we are having our dear guests that are doing our final prayers. So we are having Teresa Castro with us today, and she will be the one finalizing our study and doing our final prayer. So Teresa, it's all yours. I hope the others can hear you. Can you guys hear Teresa? Oh, I hear some kind of click, Teresa. Hello? Mm-mm. It's like some problem. Oh, now I hear you. Now I hear you.
But do you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you. Guys, can you hear Teresa?
Angie.
I believe so. There is some kind of a... Yes. What?
Hello?
I can hear you now.
Angie, can you hear me? Angie, hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
I don't think I'm being heard.
Now, yes. Before you were not.
Hello?
But now, yes. I think there is some kind
Angie,
of...
you hear me?
Yeah. I think there is some kind of slow connection.
Can you hear me, Angie?
Yes.
Yeah, Angie, can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can... Okay. There's a lot of crackling. So okay.
What
So let
happened
us
to?
close our eyes. Okay. Let us, I think the connection is not good.
But it's good. It's good now. We can hear you. It's the connection. I can hear you, Teresa. Are you there?
There's some interference. Okay. So would you still like prayer?
Yes. Let's try.
Okay. So let us close our eyes and relax our minds and let us open our hearts with gratitude and thank the mentors. Yeah. Okay. Um, Maybe Angie, it's not going to work. Hello? Okay. Let us thank our guardian angels and our protector spirits for this study. Let us go forward in our week with these studies that we can put into practice, remembering that we change the world by changing ourselves. Um, I'm I'm here. I was saying the prayer. Um, Maybe it's not coming through. Okay, okay. Let us close our eyes and relax our minds and be thankful for and give thanks to our Heavenly Father, our mentors, our guides, our guardian angels, that we were able to attend these studies tonight. Let us remember those who are suffering, those who are sick, whether with the coronavirus or illnesses. Let us pray also for those who have recently discarnated, so that their journey may be peaceful and hopeful. Let us go into our week with the teachings that we've learned tonight, remembering that we are all brothers and sisters, and that peace in the world begins with ourselves. Let us look inside ourselves for the obstacles that we may overcome and improving ourselves. We thank you, Master Jesus, Mother Mary, Kardec Radio, Chico, and all the elevated spirits who have brought so many beautiful books to us that we can continue to progress and evolve. So let us now close our session with the permission, with humility and respect. Thank you for this session, and thank you, Angela, to show up weekly to share these teachings with us. And so be it.
So be it. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Teresa.
thank you.
So happy to have you here with us, and be used to be used to the connection problems. I'm super used to it. we always uh, we always had problems, but it's wonderful to have you here, to have all our friends here. Very, very beautiful. Your prayer was very nice from your heart, and even if the internet connections, we were able to feel it. Thank you so much. And my friends, thank you all for being here with us. It was a pleasure. We are still in this pandemia. It's still very difficult, but as we are constantly learning, we know that our love, our positive attitudes, and prayer can help us so much to see the light, to be able to see life in a more positive way than whatever it's being shown on the TVs or in the news. So let's be connected with each other. If you are going through a difficult time, contact someone that you feel confident, someone that will be able to extend a positive word. If you have a spirit center that you can call someone, just don't be home alone, depressed, or upset. This is a moment that you have to make connections. And if we can do physical ones, please use your cell phone, use WhatsApp, and reach to someone that can help you. If you want, please call me. I love to talk. So I can use this gift of talking in this life, at
My
least
pleasure.
talking a little bit better. Guys, thank you so much. We will see you next week, and have a wonderful long weekend here in America. Happy 4th of July to all of you. God bless everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my dear Teresa. See you all soon. Bye.